Sniper Elite 5. Let's talk about it. So, Sniper Elite 5 is the newest installment. It's from 2022 in the Sniper Elite series. Now, I've played almost all of the Sniper Elite games and I loved them. However, this is Sniper Elite 5, the newest one. So, is it really as good as the other ones were? So, this version of Sniper Elite, we're again working with the French resistance to eliminate the Germans, as well as the U.S. Army and some other groups of the U.S. military. And we're meeting some British people and some stuff like that too, some other operatives, some spies. But the main campaign in this game, you're running around and you're trying to catch General Mueller. And you're trying to destroy his pet project, Operation Kraken. So you spend most of the game, I think there's 13 missions without the DLC, in which you're just running around, you're going through all these different villas and stuff, just like normal in regular Sniper Elite versions and games and stuff like that. And you're just trying to get the information about Operation Kraken. You're trying to stop it from happening, even though you don't know quite what it is. So you're just gathering intel and trying to stop it. You keep catching up to Mueller, and you keep thinking you're about to catch him, but then he gets away, or something else happens and you're not able to defeat him. So there's a bunch of stuff like that. Now, as far as the campaign goes, it plays out pretty nice. Sometimes it's a little boring because the maps in this game are absolutely huge. And there's a lot of enemies to take out, a lot of secrets to find, a lot of things to do. And it can be a little bit frustrating at times, but it's really not that bad. Overall, it is a lot of fun to play the campaign. There's a lot of good guns in this campaign as compared to some of the other ones. A lot of different options, a lot of customization abilities. A lot of different ammo attachments and stuff even that you can put on it, as far as like silenced rounds or supersonic rounds, match grade rounds, a bunch of stuff like that. That's really fun. It's nice to play around with that and figure out what settings you want to use. A bunch of that stuff's a lot of fun to play with. The campaign maps themselves are absolutely amazing looking. The graphics on them are fantastic. You don't really run into any render distance issues. The enemies themselves inside of them, sometimes they're extremely insanely difficult to deal with, and they're super sensitive to like sound and sight and like seeing things that you've done. And other times it just feels like they're absolutely blind and they can't see or hear anything. And that can be a little bit irritating because it kind of doesn't live up to the other Sniper Elite games. But overall, it's not that bad. The campaign, like I said, is a lot of fun to play. I personally enjoy playing some of the maps repeatedly that have roads and just laying down mines on the roads and blowing up car after car after car full of Germans. A lot of fun to go through and do that. And there's plenty of opportunities to, find mines and pick up mines or search the enemies, stuff like that, and put down more mines. So I can just mine like the entire road and blow up a bunch of different trucks and stuff. Super fun to do that. One of the things I was disappointed by in this game, though, is shooting like tanks and armored trucks and stuff like that with your sniper rifle is a lot harder because they don't really show you where the weak spots on the trucks and stuff are. Also, they give you armor piercing rounds, so you basically have to use that in order to be able to blow up the vehicles at all, which again, I don't really enjoy that because I personally enjoyed like Sniper Elite 2, where it just showed you like, oh, this is where the gas tank cap is, and I shoot the gas tank cap and the whole truck blows up. Loved that. It was a lot of fun. This I personally did not enjoy the way that was done, but aside from that, it was pretty good. There was a lot of like Panzerfausts and stuff, a lot more delving into like the different guns of World War II. So there's a bunch more of World War II guns in there than some of the previous Sniper Elite games. There was also a lot more attention paid to the design of the enemies and the friendly characters that made it more accurate to World War II, which was also really enjoyable to experience. Again, just the way the maps were set up and stuff like that was really well done. It wasn't as sloppy as some of the older Sniper Elite games felt, so that was great to see as well. Also, one of the best things about this, in my opinion, is you have the option to play as like an Axis infiltrator sniper, and you can go and join random people's games and you can snipe them and make them lose all their progress in the game, or you can let random people come join your game and try and kill you, and you have to find them before they kill you, otherwise you'll lose all your progress. And it has a lot of fun to play with. It gives another depth to the game, It gives you a bunch more options of stuff to do. It also ensures that it's not as boring. There's a lot of options with that, as far as like phones on the wall that you can use to like ping the enemies, but then it also pings your position. If you're playing as the Axis invader, you also get some intel off of the Germans who are killed or whatever by the other sniper. You know, by whatever I mean, like if they get alerted to his position, or if he shoots at them, or a grenade goes off, or something like that, then they make you aware as well. So a bunch of stuff like that. Super cool to play that mode specifically. I enjoy that a lot too. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes you piss people off, sometimes people piss you off. You know, it's all in good sport. Nobody really maliciously plays it that I've experienced, anyways. It's also a lot of fun to play some of the survival maps and stuff like that. However, a lot of the survival maps are not well set up like they were in the other ones. So instead of just like holding down a spot in a wave based thing, you have to like go and capture the objective or defend an objective. And you're a sniper. Like, it just doesn't make sense for what the game is. It doesn't really fit it. And most of the time it ends up, you know, not being an enjoyable experience, because you're out here supposed to be a sniper, but you're getting invaded by tanks and, you know, troops and stuff like that while you're in one set position. But you also have to move around the map from point to point to point, but also you don't have that much ammo, but also you don't have that many unique weapons, but also you can't see the spots on the trucks to explode, but also there's so many enemies, you know, that kind of thing. Really draws out the bad in the game instead of the good. So I personally don't prefer to play the survival methods. They're not that fun. I'd rather go jump in a campaign with my buddies and play through the campaign again on different difficulty settings, or with different weapons or whatever. Even like we'll give ourselves our own challenges where we'll only use a pistol the entire time, or we can only do, you know, sneak kills, and a lot of things that make the game way more challenging and a lot more enjoyable. I personally think that, kind of like Pistol Whip VR has, they should have some of those kind of options where you can only play through the campaign with a pistol, or etc. Just some different challenges, because it would be not that hard to put those challenge modes in here. It would be a lot of fun to do and experience it with that, instead of just having to come up with it on our own. But I also understand it's kind of a waste of time in some cases, because just like I said, if someone really wanted to go through and play it that way, they can just do it on their own. They don't have to have it programmed into the game. Overall, though, like I said, this game's a lot of fun. There is also a DLC that allows you to, you know, eliminate Hitler. Super fun to do that. I've been disappointed by some of the other games in Sniper Elite where it just kind of seems like you're always running through just eliminating the Germans and nothing ever happens. Nothing, you know, gets anywhere. You just keep stopping the German threat. So it is nice that we finally get to see an ending to this. You finally get to eliminate Hitler. I personally really enjoyed that, thought it was awesome. A bunch of stuff like that is more enjoyable throughout the DLCs and stuff like that, but you can still experience a really good game just through playing the main game itself. So I would definitely give Sniper Elite a check, specifically the fifth one, but Sniper Elite games in general are a lot of fun. I know I've referenced Sniper Elite 5 before and some other Sniper Elite versions in some of my other reviews, but I think it would be better if instead of having a wave based, they did have like a zombie mode or something. I've been thinking that for years, wish they'd add that, but you know, who knows if they ever actually will. But still, just the way the game is, it's really fun to play. Like I said, the graphics are good, they don't have a bad render distance, a bunch of stuff like that. So yeah, I'd definitely give the game a check.